Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, special coverage of the $750,000 guaranteed late pick 5 pool at Gulfstream Park on Pegasus World Cup Saturday. An even better situation is the 10% late pick 5 bonus that you can take advantage of if you are a DRF Bets member. Sign up for our Pegasus special at drf.com/pick5. It is a very difficult sequence, races 8 through 12. We have expanded stakes previews of all these races already up on video.drf.com and the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel. So check out those videos. Maybe there's a nugget of information or two that we might have even missed in compiling our tickets. And speaking of our tickets, Matt, let's throw up your first leg of your ticket maker ticker, race number 8.
Yeah, I could have gone very, very deep in this race. I could have spread and used even more than the 5 horses that I'm going to. Ultimately landed on 3 A's and 2 C's. You're going to note that I only use C's in this ticket maker sequence. The 1, the 7, and the 9, Holy Helena. The 9 on the outside is Santa Monica, and the 7 is CKS Buena. I think they're the more likely winners in here. I don't love any one of them. I don't think they're standouts. And if I was using backups, the 2 main backups are the 3 English Affair and the 5 Tricky Escape. Admittedly, the 3 English Affair, if I really had my druthers about it, I'd probably elevate her to an A.
This is such a tough sequence. So many full fields, so many competitive fields. We take a look at my ticket for leg number A, leg letter A, and boy, I mean, I just couldn't find a single. So for me, this is going to be kind of a low risk, high reward bet. If this ticket somehow comes in, I'm scoring. A caveman ticket might have been $300 or so. Ticket maker will whittle it down to maybe $100 or a little bit less. I'm going to try to beat the favorites in this race. I do like English Affair, a horse that Matt's using as an A. I do like CKS Buena. These 2 horses seem to be in good form right now. Backups, I want Top Cats, who's making his 2nd start in this country, and Semper Sententiae. I think both of those horses have some upside and can be forwardly placed. We move to race number 9, the Grade 3 Fred W. Hooper Stakes. And originally, after these races were drawn, we thought we had a single because we thought that the number 1 Cold Front was simply better than these horses, and this would have made the pick 5 perhaps a little bit easier for us to decipher. But Marty McGee reported Thursday morning that Todd Pletcher is thinking very seriously of scratching Cold Front, so now the race is wide open. Let's throw up your ticket.
Yeah, needed to make a little bit of a shift here, an audible on the fly, no pun intended, because he runs later on. I'm going to go with the 4 as my only A in here, Breaking Lucky. I just thought he was impressive in that most recent run. He would be a C if Cold Front were to run, but again, we're just assuming Cold Front doesn't go. The lone A is Breaking Lucky, and the lone backup is the other Pletcher in here, Coppertown. I also am not going to argue with anyone that elevates Coppertown simply because if one Pletcher leaves, you have to assume the other one is going to be ready to roll. I know there's no common ownership there, but for me, 4-8. 4 is an A, 8 is a C.
I'm using the 4 Breaking Lucky. He's just been really, really good throughout his career. Perhaps he's found himself at the 1-turn mile as we throw up my ticket. He's my B in here, but I'm really interested in Unbridled Juan. And this is a horse that's going to be a good price. He likes Gulfstream Park, and ever since being gelded over the winter of 2017, he's just found a way to win races. He's won his last 2. I like the way he put Dalmore away at 1 1/8. I think Unbridled Juan might be sitting on a good performance. He'll be my A in the 2nd leg of this $750,000 guaranteed pick 5, and I'll use Breaking Lucky as my B. The 3rd leg is the Grade 3 W.L. McKnight. The sequence does not get easier. Matt will throw up your ticket right now. To me, it's a spread. You're only going with 2.
Well, I got to be honest with you. Again, it really just boils down to, look, I could spend $1,000 on this sequence and not really have a heck of a lot of confidence. And you get to a certain point and you go, is it actually beneficial for me to keep using more and more horses with no real strong emphasis or real strong opinion in here? I think the most likely winner is Zulu Alpha. I don't love him by any stretch. I don't think he's a superstar, but I think this race fits in well. The horse that I picked is the 9 Hunter O'Reilly. Again, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper as far as your investment is concerned, make Hunter O'Reilly an A. I just looked at it and said, realistically, as much as I pick him, and look, we admitted it when we talked about it and out of the gate, it was basically because I don't love anybody else in here. You could make him an A, but I made him a C in this spot. The 4 is an A, the 9's a C.
I agreed with you with Hunter O'Reilly. We both picked him on out of the gate. We both are using him as C's in the W.L. McKnight. Let's take a look at my ticket. I used a lot of horses in this race because if somehow I'm alive going into the 10th, I want coverage because I feel pretty good about my horses in race 11 and race number 12. I'm going with Solio, the 2. I'm going with Your A, the 4, Zulu Alpha. And I'm going with the number 12, Village King, who reminds me a little bit of High Happy, who Todd Pletcher turned into a nice long-distance turf horse at Gulfstream last year. Highland Sky is going to be one of my B's, along with Long Layoff Can SR, and our friend Hunter O'Reilly is the C. That's my spread. If I'm alive after leg C, and I have to admit, I'm not sure I'm going to be, we move on to the Pegasus World Cup Turf Invitational. Matt, this is a race where it's very competitive, but I think you can kind of narrow it down a little bit. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do. And to be honest with you, I've long thought about having a lone A in here and the horse that I actually like, and that's Channel Maker. We can take a look at my ticket here. I ended up using another one. I used Bricks and Mortar simply because from a talent standpoint, there is a real chance that he is just the most talented horse in the race, but at the same time, I'm not totally sold about the distance with him. I use both of them as A's, and the only backup for me, the lone C, is Yoshida. Again, an instance where I'm not going to argue with anyone that elevates a horse like Yoshida to an A or a B if you are using B's, because I do think, to me, outside of those three, I don't really love anyone. Those are the three I'm most interested in, but particularly Channel Maker, because also he's going to offer some value if you believe that morning line.
Moving on to my ticket, I'm using the 7 in here, Bricks and Mortar, also using Catapult, coming off his good effort in the Breeders' Cup Mile. I think he kicks pretty hard. Yoshida, like Matt, I'm using as a backup as a B. Channel Maker, another horse that Matt is using, I'm using as a B. I really expect him to rebound after being up on that hot and heavy pace in the Breeders' Cup Turf. The big one is the Pegasus World Cup Invitational. It's your DRF race of the day. You can access free formulator past performances on the race of the day event page. Matt, let's throw up your ticket. You're going with a price on top. You like something awesome, but you're not letting the two biggies beat you.
No, I mean, this is really one of those things, keep it simple, stupid. Don't try to get over, creative. Those are the two horses to beat, and I think one of them is the more likely winner of this race, whether it's City of Light or Accelerate. But at the same time, I look at something awesome in it for all the reasons I laid out. But also, if you're looking at it from a multi-race standpoint, he's probably going to be somewhere in that 20-1 range from a win standpoint. From a multi-race wager, I would venture a guess that he's closer to 30 or 40-1. And if for some reason he were to win this thing and I didn't have him as an A, I'd feel like a tremendous, tremendous slouch.
Let's take a look at my completed ticket as well. I'm going with the two big ones, but I will use City of Light with slightly more weight than Accelerate. I think he can get to the front in here. I think the usual speed favoring nature of the Gulfstream main track might carry him along. Accelerate is a backup. It is a very tough sequence. Again, we urge you to take a look at all those expanded stakes previews. There might be a couple of horses that we mentioned, a couple of nuggets of information that you might want to use in throwing your tickets together. And we talk about every horse and every race in those stakes previews. The approximate post time, we always say approximate at Gulfstream Park, for the first leg of this $750,000 guaranteed late pick 5 is 3:05 Eastern. Best of luck.